Yo boys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Josh Talk Sports, and in today's video we are going to be going over a story that kind of broke into the scenes late last night, and that is the LaMelo Ball trade rumors that seem to be very real. So we're going to kind of go over kind of what we know thus far, kind of go over LaMelo's career in a whole, and kind of try to piece together some thoughts as to why the Hornets would want to move on from LaMelo Ball. And we have a few trade destinations to look at based on the teams that initially have shown interest on where LaMelo Ball could potentially land in this next phase of his career. Now let's get into everything. Now, first and foremost, we're going to start off with LaMelo Ball as a player. LaMelo Ball is a 6'7" point guard. He is coming off of probably one of his better years, if not his best year. He's coming off of a season of averaging about 25 and 7 a game, and also helped lead the Charlotte Hornets to their best season that the Hornets have had in a long time, and since LaMelo Ball has been drafted. On LaMelo Ball's career, he averages a whopping 21, 7, and 5, and in the past 5 seasons, he's consistently averaged at least 20 points and 7 assists, which would put him definitely on the upper echelon of point guards in the NBA. He is a one-time All Star and also did win Rookie of the Year. Now, the next thing with LaMelo Ball is LaMelo Ball has struggled to stay healthy over the course of his career, but this past year he was able to show his durability, playing 72 games, which is the most games LaMelo Ball has played in an NBA season since 2021, which would be his sophomore season, and he only missed 10 games. So now the question really honestly is, why would the Charlotte Hornets, who are coming off their best season in years, why would they want to move on from LaMelo Ball? Well, we're going to kind of get into some things. Now, what we know from the sideline, this is all on Twitter, you can go check this out, is that LaMelo Ball has been looking forward to this upcoming season with the Hornets, but the Hornets are listening to offers anyways, and some teams that have interest are the Milwaukee Bucks, they have registered interest, and the Wolves that have undeniably serious interest, but Jaden McDaniels is off the table. Now, there is something I kind of want to show you guys. This is from somebody I follow. If it's still here, I kind of wanted to show you guys this tweet just to kind of give you guys a breakdown. But these are a bunch of mock trades. Now, here's another one that says the Timberwolves are making Jaden McDaniels off limits in trade discussions, and they prefer to keep Dante DiVincenzo and Naz Reid. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull that off, because they are trying to obviously keep the band together, and they kind of want their cake and eat it too. But this is what I found interesting from my guy, Nico Taught You. He knows ball, so you guys definitely go drop him a follow on Twitter. This graphic was very interesting to me, and obviously you kind of have to be an analytic guy to kind of, have a feel for this, but it just shows you how much better the Hornets are with LaMelo on the floor versus off the floor. If you guys see this here, when he's on the floor, their offense is a plus damn near 10. When he's off the floor, it's minus 3.5. Like, that is a huge difference of LaMelo Ball when he's on the floor, his impact offensively, vice versa to his impact off the floor. And here's another graphic I kind of want to show you guys of what it looks like with him and Miller on the floor, and then with both of them off the floor. Now, I also have another graphic to show you guys with all the trio on the floor, and it seems to me that anytime LaMelo is not on the floor, it is a negative. So this is very important to me, because I feel like the Hornets' identity was definitely becoming somewhat of an offensive juggernaut. Like, they were sort of, blossoming into that. So it's interesting to me why they would want to get rid of such a great offensive point guard, or a player that can create for others, that on any other team, especially a championship contender team, could be really good. Now, I do want to kind of search something up while I'm here with you boys, because the Hornets, their draft was interesting, and I was seeing a lot about this. They drafted someone in the first round. I think his name was, is it Christian Anderson? I think they drafted someone in the first round named Christian Anderson, who a lot of people are saying is LaMelo Ball's replacement, and that's why they went this way. Now, if we kind of take a look at Christian Anderson, He averaged this year career numbers in college at 18, 3, and 7 assists a game. Big 12. He was most improved player, all Big 12. So he is a much smaller guard, though. He's 6'2", 165 pounds. If we kind of give a look at his numbers, obviously he had a big jump in numbers, especially assist-wise, points-wise, just pretty much everything. And let's see, as a three-point shooter, he was shooting 41%. Okay, so he shot 40% for his college career on about 8 attempts last year. That is very, very elite. Seems like a pretty undoubtedly solid player. And I think this is the direction that the Hornets want to go. And I feel like this is the reason why they are interested in shopping LaMelo Ball, because they feel like that they have something in a player like Christian Anderson. Now, with that being said, I kind of wanted to get into some of the suitors for LaMelo Ball. We kind of talked about the Timberwolves as one, but there are more suitors. There are two teams that we have seen that have emerged. And the two teams are the Minnesota Timberwolves and Toronto Raptors. They have serious interest, and we do know the Minnesota Timberwolves are at the front running of this. Now, here are 4 trades that we're going to get into and that we're going to break down as these trade rumors swirl, because he could be moved as early as tomorrow. So this is a big story around the NBA, and I would not be surprised if more teams try to get involved, because this is a really good player, and we see a bidding war type of situation play out. But here it says in the article, the Charlotte Hornets, they could be parting ways with their franchise player, according to the Steinline, which we went over, and they're actively fielding offers, which usually means they are actually trying to get rid of him. Charlotte improved from 19-63 to 44-38 under their second-year coach, Charles Lee. The numbers slightly dipped. Obviously, they have their first-round pick, Khan, and Brandon Miller, who showed themselves more offensively, and it seems like they're looking to deal Ball because they want to create more opportunities for Knuppel and Miller to run the show. Ball is very young. He's only 24. He's averaged over 20 in all of his seasons but his rookie year, and is a career 37% three-point shooter. And obviously his durability is in question as he's missed over 170 games. But this past year he was very durable, so we'll give him that nod. Now, the number one is LaMelo to the T-Wolves, Rudy Gobert to the Hawks, and the Hornets go young. So we're going to kind of take a look at this trade. So in this case, the Timberwolves would get LaMelo Ball and Mousse Diabate. The Hornets would get Onyeka Okongwu, Corey Kispert, Zachary Ricochet, and a 2026 first-round pick. And the Hawks would then get Rudy Gobert and Terrence Shannon Jr. Now, for the Hornets, I actually do like this move. Is interesting because I feel like Zachary Ricochet is one of those guys who was the number one overall pick in his respective draft. And I think a change of scenery could be nice. And I think going to a team like the Hornets, he could maybe find more of a role there. I do think for the Hawks, going to get a legitimate rim protector and Rudy Gobert in the Eastern Conference, and then getting Terrence Shannon, another guy who can catch and shoot, can create, can play some defense. And then obviously the Timberwolves, they get the meat of the bone. They get LaMelo Ball, who they can put next to Ant-Man, and that duo could go insanely crazy. And then Mousse Diabate, who they could have playing rotational minutes. So honestly, I like that, but I just don't know if that's a route that they go. Now, the second proposal is LaMelo and Brandon Miller to the Celtics, Jaylen Brown to the Hornets. So this trade is pretty much straight up because the salaries pretty much match. You send LaMelo and Brandon Miller to the Celtics. You send Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard to the Hornets. Now, I feel like with this, I don't necessarily know if the Hornets are looking to acquire another player who's trying to carry a big offensive load. So I don't know if that's the archetype of guy they're looking for. But don't get me wrong, Jaylen Brown would be a great player. And same with Peyton Pritchard, he could be your sixth man off the bench. He's shown that in Boston. And then with the Celtics, they get LaMelo, who you can pair up with Tatum and Brandon Miller. So you honestly are getting 2 new starters. I feel like that's just a lot for the Hornets to give up. And I don't know if they'd be willing to part ways with Brandon Miller as well in a trade. Now, LaMelo to the Bucks, Miles Turner to the Hornets. Now, this is another interesting move, and in this trade, this would undoubtedly send Miles Turner and Kyle Kuzma to the Hornets, and the Bucks would get LaMelo. Now, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks are in the middle of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't know if they're trying to contend, or I don't know if they're trying to get, but they also have Tyler Hero, and they just drafted Braden Burry. So I don't think this is a great idea unless they plan on trying to move on from Hero. I mean, you could have Hero and LaMelo, but there's just no defense in that backcourt. I would not trust that. But in the Hornets, since you get Kuzma, you get a bigger wing, and you get a stretch big in Turner. I do like that for them, but like this guy says right here, they have a ton of guards, and I just don't know if that's a move that they would be interested interested in making. Now, next, for the last and not least, we have LaMelo to the T-Wolves, Jaden McDaniels to the Hornets. Now, I can tell you right now, this is not happening because the Minnesota Timberwolves have made it extremely clear that they are not interested in parting ways with Jaden McDaniels, and he is untouchable, as well as Ant-Man, obviously. They're untouchable players. So, but in this trade package, the Minnesota Timberwolves will get LaMelo, Kobe White, and the Hornets will get Jaden McDaniels, Ayo Dosunmu, who they just paid, and 2 second-round picks. This is a very interesting trade. But, and you guys see here, Charlotte, they get a massive upgrade on the wing, along with a more capable guard in Ayo Dosunmu. The deal may be enough as is, but Charlotte would surely like to flip one of those second-rounders into a first-round pick or a first-round pick swap. I don't think this will happen because, yeah, the Timberwolves are not willing to move on from Jaden McDaniels. But y'all let me know in the comments whether you think LaMelo Ball will be on the move within the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to stay very close on this situation, this breakdown. I do believe his most likely place of being traded to at this point is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They are very hungry to get another star to pair with Ant-Man as they trade away Julius Randle. So that is my spell. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, consider hitting the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.